I would like to welcome you to the upper echelon. I want you to be honest and don't you lie. Don't you think of lying. Be for real. You're not a Bud Crawford fan. You just hate Spence, right? Hate it or love it, the underdog's on top. Coach Derrick James is not only a coach, but he is a teacher, a philosopher. He has a doctorate or a PhD in boxing. He breaks down boxing to the smallest molecule. He knows everything about his students inside and out, strengths and weaknesses, their limits, and also how to push them. He also teaches them to push past that limit into a new dimension of skills. Boxing is chess, and Derrick James is Bobby Fischer. He is always 12 steps ahead of his opponent and his boxer's opponent. And he comes with his own secret techniques in teaching it, like a Shaolin warrior. With Spence, he comes with the ruthless barrage of body shots. With Charlo, he has a rifle and pistol and shot that pinpoints accuracy and timing. And with the young Frank Martin, who is exceptionally well and underlooked, he comes with a pinpoint pulling cobra punch that sits him down eventually. And he teaches them how to transition from defense to offense, all in a different set of ways, in a different style to match their build as a character. Master of the 10,000 hour technique. No one can exceed without an innate talent. Achievement through talent is through preparation. Nobody walks into an operating room straight out of a surgical class and does world-class neurosurgery. And secondly, the most crucial amount of practice is necessary for exceptional performance. So it's extensive practice that people end up on top, and they also have someone to guide them with the conditions that make all the practicing in the years possible to achieve the enlightenment and the greatness of their craft. The average time to reach master status is at least 11,000 hours, and to reach a status beyond that is 14,000 hours. And Coach James and his students put in hours on hours on hours. They at a grand stage of enlightenment and understanding. So anyone who steps in the ring against any of Derrick James' students will be going against one of the most prepared people ever. It'll be the fight of their life, because they're always going to be fully prepared mentally, physically, and emotionally. And they're going to perform at the level beyond the top level, because this is what Derrick James teaches. This is what he practiced. This is what he instills in his fighters. Now we're going to take a look at Errol Spence, Jermell Charlo, and Frank Martin, and how Derrick James has provided a special style, a Shaolin style, for their own skills and abilities to attack their opponent and become victorious and a grand master in their craft of boxing. For his prize pupil in the boogeyman of boxing, he developed the 47 Ruthless, Ragin, body destructing, soul disrupting, organ malfunctioning, defensive piercing, bludgeoning shots. What this consists of is he builds Spence stamina to a higher level, a level strong enough for him to throw at least 150 shots over 20 rounds. And he builds the body shots. Errol Spence is known as the body snatcher. When you in the ring with Spence, one thing for sure and two things for certain, you will get the body snatched. He developed a style of going to the body, then back up top. Derrick James has taught him how to transition from defense to offense within 100th of a second. When he throws the right, he blocks with the left, and as he throws the left, he comes up with the right. It's like he was a punching buddy, but he does it within 100th of a second, so that the naked eye can't see it. You have to slow it down with a speed lens camera. But Derrick James also taught him how to get in the nitty gritty and to keep him away with the jab. Keep him away with the jab. Plus, he taught him that the jab starts everything. The jab is the end all, be all, start all, finish all. When you lead with the jab, it opens up the door to the house. Then you can go in any room, the front room, the living room, downstairs, or the basement. And Errol Spence likes to camp out in the basement. And he goes into your body. into your body. Then he goes up top to the head, back to the body. And it's called the 47 Ragin shots because it's like a kata in Kung Fu. If you watch the way the man moves so gracefully, every time, every fighter, you can put him in front of the punching bag or in front of the pads. Errol Spence fights in rhythm. He fights in an emotions of over 10,000 hours of training. Like I've explained to you, when you train for over 10,000 hours, you become a master. Over 11,000 a grandmaster, and over 14,000 hours, your body has muscle memory. And Errol Spence's body has muscle memory. And when you have something perfected, it's hard to change up perfection. But what you can do is perfect the perfected. And the only thing that needs to be perfected about Spence's style is building up the punch resistance. So as he punches, he expects to be hit back as he throws. But they building a resistance to the punches. That's why Errol Spence trains with light heavyweights and heavyweights and middleweights, so he can develop the shots and the defense to take the shots. And his power is so great in magnitude as he begins to unleash his barrage into his opponent's body that their hands drop. And when he starts into his combo motion, their hands drop and his hands rise. So you go body, body, head, head. Most people, once they feel the power and the shots into their body, your body instinctively, without your permission, goes to cover where you are hurt at. And when you go to cover where you hurt at, you leave your face open. And that's when he starts attacking up top. And Errol Spence has the best sparring ever because he has another of James initiates in there with Jermell Charlo. So him and Errol Spence both going through the grueling Shaolin training, and they get to spar each other. I mean, high class, first rate, in real time sparring. Iron sharpens iron, and you got two diamonds rubbing against each other. When Errol Spence goes into the 47 Ragin punching, notice how he starts off slow at the bottom and then he comes up, and then it's in a pattern. You could put any boxer in there and it's the same. He measures with the jab. Once he finds his range, then he starts going to work. It's like a lumberjack with an axe bringing a large oak tree down. As many whacks will finally bring it down, and he's tenderizing the body. And as he's tenderizing the body, the meat is getting soft. And if you can't stand in there and take these shots and throw at the same time, then it's nothing you can do about it. But when you are throwing at the same time, you also set yourself up for danger, setting yourself up for pain. If you haven't put your body through the rigorous training of taking shots and delivering them at the same time with tenacity, then you're completely outworked. So the fight Errol Spence gained is to go in there facing certain loss. What people fail to realize and what they're missing is that Errol Spence has an impeccable defense. First off, the best defense is a great offense, and Errol comes with an offense out of this world. And his offense provides defense because he's throwing bludgeoning shots that hurt, that can cripple, maim, and disable. So to hit him, you gotta risk taking a shot into a sensitive spot. A lot of people will try once or twice, and once they feel what comes, they're not too willing to train. And so that slows the punch output of the opponent. Secondly, Errol brings his hand up into the phone booth position. As he's firing with the right, his left blocks. As he fires with the left, his right blocks. Plus he rolls with the shots and he turns his head while he's down there. A lot of people don't notice that. So that allows him not to get hit flush in a key spot. Plus it allows him to roll and filly out of it. But with that being said, the motor will get him over across the ocean, because when that motorboat starts running, a lot of people stall out, just like Ugas and most of his other opponents. So Derrick James, he seen that Errol had a high output, and he seen that Errol can take a shot. The man took a flying window shot from a Ferrari at over 100 miles an hour, only broke his mouth. That's what I'm saying. So Errol is the most complete, incredible fighter ever. He's like Hagler, mixed with Leonard, mixed with Jones, mixed with power. And that's all I can say. People say Errol don't have power. He has demolition power. And when he comes out there, he's the demolisher. And people say he don't have all these knockouts, he don't hit that hard. See, the difference between Errol Spence and people like Crawford is Crawford hits you with a shot you don't see coming, so you're shocked and knocked out. See, when you see Errol Spence throwing it, you see the shot coming, so you brace for impact. And just because you brace, that means you can take more because you see it coming, but all it's doing is damaging you worse. Like when Houdini used to sit there in front of a cannonball and tighten up his stomach and take the shot. Yeah, he took a cannonball to the stomach, but eventually he died from a ruptured stomach. Yes, from taking them shots. And anybody that fights Spence while he's in his Shaolin technique of the 47 Ragin palms will end up destroyed. Mikey Garcia has just retired after going through the 47 Ragin palms. Look at Lamont Peterson, a shell of himself. Danny Garcia, 3 years before he got back. Kell Brooks, broken orbital. Keith Thurman, he's running. He don't want that. It's hard to stand toe-to-toe and go against the monster that is the 47 bludgeoning palms of Errol Spence. And he done developed it so perfectly because he's put in the hours, the patience, and the fortitude. He stays in the gym. Him and Derrick James perfected the craft. First they perfected the motor, then they perfected the punching, then the defense. Now it is a perfect craft. It's like the hidden boss, and he has that one shot that takes you out. Whereas Errol's shot is the 47 combo. Like Killer Instinct, when they say Ultra, Ultra, it's his Ultra combo. And once you get caught in it, once your motor slips, once you let him get close, and he starts working the combo, right then and there, your time is limited in the ring. Either the ref gonna stop you, the body gonna stop you, or he gonna stop you. But no one can sit there and take a full round of the 47 bludgeoning palms, especially when Spence has had strength and conditioning training. Because with him and strength and conditioning, he's a whole unstoppable monster. The 3 guys in a row that he didn't stop was because he went through fat camp. But now he's back and he's more focused. And Sensi James has got him in there looking for the final form. He's done reached Grandmaster stage. Now he's going for the final form. The elite form that's been hidden, the hidden dragon. And yes, with the teachings of Derrick James, who also works out alongside his students, it's just a matter of time before the 47 bludgeoning palms transfers into the Buddha palm, or the immortal palm, or some kind of palm that means the greatest of all times. And I'm not saying Spence is the greatest of all times, but he has a chance to become that way. And we only seen him at 147. He's gonna be a lot stronger and bigger at 154 and 160. Like he said, we haven't seen nothing yet. When he gets to that better, he's going to be a lot stronger and more powerful. Then we get to see the real 47 bludgeoning palms. And we get to see what it would do to people. But right now, everybody that's going to face Spence has had a lasting memory and a lasting impression of what he can do. Like Michael Irvin said, he's breaking motherfuckers' faces. Pardon my French. But yes, he's breaking people. And that's what you have to do. Break people. Because boxing is a sport of pride and a sport of skill, and it's the only sport that you don't play. And the greatest way to take out your opponent is to break them, because they are all men in that ring, and no man wants to give up, and no man wants to be weak or a coward or lay down. So Derrick James devised a plan in which you can stop your opponent and still leave him some dignity. But anybody that goes in the ring with Spence, boxing life will lose a lot of years, because this man is not one to get in the ring with and be taken lightly, because the 47 bludgeoning palm is a dangerous technique. I call it a forbidden technique because it targets all your soft spots, all your chakra points, where he's hitting and digging into your ribs, your side, your liver, everywhere that's soft. And see, when you punching against something soft, you can let your hands go without worrying about hurting your hands. That's why Spence digs in that body. And if you take the body, the head will fall. So yes, the 47 bludgeoning palms is almost undefeatable. But who has found their way to beat it? Will we ever see it, or will we won't? It's up to the future. Everybody like and subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when I finish with the series, because I'm coming back out with part 4 through 7 on why they hate Spence. We've already dropped the Roy Jones, Antonio Tarver, and Sugar Ray Leonard, but now we're going to drop the James Toney, Tim Bradley, Mike Tyson, and Sean Porter. But gotta be subscribed so you know where it's at and when it drops. So make sure you subscribe and like and share and hit that notification bell, because we dropping heat non-stop, and we just now getting started. Thank you. I'd like to thank you all for coming to my video. Like, share, and subscribe for all the latest and newest and the greatest. Like the Shaolin techniques of Derrick James, the 47 Ruthless, Ragin, Body Destructing, Soul Disrupting, Organ Malfuncting, Defensive Piercing, Bludgeoning shots of Spence, the Charlo Perfect Position and Punish and Pulverizing Piston Punches, and 100 Stinging Bees into the Pulling Counter Cobra Sprite of Frank Martin. Yes, this is the new series that dropped. Gotta be subscribed so you could be in on the latest when I drop, and hit the notification bell. And I'd like to thank all of you. Peace.